Siap yang file POI-nya, Di? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I am proud to stand up here against arbitrary and outrageous discrimination that the status quo sees against ex-offenders. The biggest interest that the state has is preventing recidivism. The only way to do that is by having effective rehabilitation program that integrates people back into the society. This, however, would never happen if we continue to preclude those people from being employed and to continue to say that those people are constant threat to the society. So that's why in today's debate, we propose that employers should not have access to job applicants' criminal records. Our model is as follows. We have no rights to access your criminal history from the police, nor have they the right to ask you on your job application or interviews with any capacity whether or not you have previously been convicted of a crime. We simply say that in the same way the judges right now hand out sentences that preclude you from particular paths of employment, they will continue to do that. So for example, if they punish you as a CEO for white-collar crime, and so you can never be CEO again, we think that's fine. I will bring two substantive materials. First, why these ex-offenders have a right not to be discriminated against. Second, why this is critical to state to assure ex-criminals can gain employment so they can effectively rehabilitate those criminals. We strongly believe on the side of affirmative, when we allow the state to discriminate, we say it is incredibly minimal and only acceptable in the instant where it is directly linked to that particular job. So when that characteristic would be considered directly related to your ability to perform a job. What do you think, sir?
Well, my question is, following the logic that you have presented before, do you agree that the university enrollment system should not take into account past student academic and behavioral assessment?
No. Academic and social contexts are different. Bare minimum for scholastic and emotional skills required to be able to survive and finish the university, while acceptance to society should be unconditional, especially if the social harmony is to be achieved. Now, in the example of physical ability, for example, in terms of physical ability, like someone whose height below 170 centimeters for male can't get a job as a cabin attendant. Even in that instance, we've limited that incredibly, like we don't allow any space for discretion there. We take the very strict line to discrimination in any form, even it might affect your ability to perform a job. We say the society is trading away from allowing that even that small amount of discrimination for things like physical ability. We think that's incredibly positive and we would like to see that continue. Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk now about why these people don't fit into that category particularly. First, we don't think that the employers should be the ones deciding what consequences of criminality are. There are three reasons for this. Firstly, we say society has said there will be a single nexus of punishment, so courts and judges will decide one time what your punishment is that is appropriate and applicable to the crime you commit. That's why we don't allow double jeopardy in things and such. We think that is incredibly critical for judges, court, and the criminal justice system to take that burden on and knock that burden to a point. Secondly, we say employers don't have access to expertise and knowledge about how criminals should be punished and what the appropriate punishment and level of punishment is for those criminals, and that is obviously a comparison directly to court who know how to rehabilitate those people and what is the best interest of the society at large. Thirdly, and the most critically, we say employers are incredibly biased actor in this particular scenario. They are unaccountable and unrepresentative of anyone's interest but their own. We think that is entirely different to the court structure, which take into account what is best for individual and what is best for the society. We say that employers are not in the right position to make this decision. Secondly, we say being denied of employment is a particularly large additional punishment for these individuals, and especially when it happens arbitrarily. 4 layers of analysis. First of all, you do need to get a job to earn access to essential rights like food, healthcare, etc., especially in places where subsidies to those are very strict or so minimal. We say getting a job is critical to continue to live your life even if you are a criminal. Secondly, it is unlikely if you are refused from a particular path of employment or particular job, you can just go out and find another job. We point out a case in the US where the unemployment rate is so high that it's incredibly likely you will not get another job in another place of employment. We think that is incredibly problematic. Third, it is not only about food or healthcare, but it is also about what a job will provide to you, which is dignity and respect and engaging with community and a sense that you are doing something productive with your life. It also mentally motivates you as it gives a sense that you have a future and you are on the path to somewhere positive. We say that all those intangible benefits are incredibly critical, and they are a huge punishment when the ex-offenders are not capable of getting it. Fourth, we also say that the majority of ex-offenders are unlikely to perform in a work any worse as a result of their previous offenses. We say that they are most often are related to the very least. We say the risk is incredibly minimal. Only limited minority actually occur in the workplace, and it isn't the job of the employers to hand out a sentence, but it is to determine whether a person is a good employee or not, and they can do that in the same way as they do when they are hiring or testing any other employment. We think employer all the time test things like trustworthiness, reliability, and a whole host of other characteristics which any employer are seeking from any employee that should not be specific to criminals and should not be linked to your past criminal activity. It should be linked to you right now and your capacity to perform that job. So we say losing your job is a huge double punishment for these individuals, and we say employers are not the right actor to be deciding what is the best interest of those individuals or society at large. We say that the state has a critical interest in making sure, first, discrimination doesn't occur arbitrarily. Second, these ex-criminals are not punished unnecessarily, and more importantly, to prevent them to commit a crime again in the future. Therefore, we are proud to propose. Thank you.